Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here. Welcome back to some Mechwarrior Online patch note review. This is September 19th, 2023, and we're going to be diving into a relatively large patch. Obviously, the first thing you're going to notice is we have a new Atlas in the background. We'll be covering that. That is one of the new legends, and again, we'll be going over all the details. So let's go ahead and dive in here, and I'm going to give you guys my opinions, my thoughts on the changes in this patch notes. Let's go ahead and dive in here. We've got September ushers in the autumn season of Mechwarrior Land. It brings with it many updates and exciting news announcement of Mechwarrior 5 clans. That's right. If you didn't see, this sort of leaked out last week. I did a video on it. All the details that we know so far, go check that video out. Yeah, that's right. Mechwarrior 5 clans, not Mech 6 clans. I don't know why not Mech 6, but it's Mech 5. Anyways, regardless, doesn't matter. Go check out that video. The annual rewards program sale is now underway, and the MWO Comp Champions Series 23 is in full throttle, already boasting a substantial prize pool exceeding $18,000. Be sure to check out this year's high-value tournament support pack. By the way, if you haven't watched that video, it is a great thing to support. I mean, not only are you getting like a nice C-build boost for a very long time, all the way out to, I believe, May, and it's relatively inexpensive. If you just get the tier 1 pack, it's $10. You can go up if you want from there. But anyways, go check that out. It's a great thing to support too for those that are participating, and of course for yourself, you can earn an additional C-build boost on top of your premium time and everything else. Additionally, players can look forward to 3 new legendary mechs this month, an array of weapon adjustments, mech quirk tweaks, quirk modifications, map enhancements, and more. Updates are subject further to change. All right, let's go ahead and jump into here. If you missed it, of course, Mechwarrior 5 Clans announcement. I sort of covered this, but let's go ahead and dive in. As a recent graduate of Smoke Jaguar Cadet program, Mechwarrior 5 Clans immerses players in epic tales set amidst a massive invasion. Operation Rival catapults their star to a forefront of daring and perilous war aimed at reclaiming the rightful homelands from the tyrants and despots ruling the inner sphere. This expansive campaign unfolds across numerous planets, featuring diverse biomes, showcasing meticulously designed maps and missions that deliver immersive gameplay and intricate combat encounters. Armed with an arsenal of customizable battle mechs equipped with cutting-edge technologies, players can explore a wealth of tactical options and strategic possibilities. In the first clan-based Mechwarrior game in nearly 3 decades, players find themselves at a pivotal moment of Mechwarrior universe, where the powerful clans clash with the great houses, plunging the inner sphere into a unparalleled chaos. Obviously, this is throwback to Mechwarrior 2, which is pretty dope. The teaser's out. Quick shout out to the Hired Steel guys, TMC Group. Congrats again. For those that didn't know, the guys that have been doing Hired Steel are doing the trailer for, and the cinematics for Piranha Games. I remember I mentioned that on my Twitter, saying, hey, you guys should really utilize these guys. And it looks like they have. It is sort of funny how Hired Steel said they'd be switching over to Unreal 5, which I think was a smart move, but obviously we also know that's because Mechwarrior 5 Clans is in Unreal 5. For those that don't know, that has been confirmed by Russ. It is in Unreal 4, and it is a completely separate product from Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. So just a heads up on there. All right, Legendary Annual Rewards Program sales. The sales are going on. They do have annual rewards. Keep in mind, there's actually new variants coming to MWO that we haven't seen before. And there's new MWO variants coming that haven't been in on like Sarna. So we'll be going over those when those come in. But there are some unique ones. Again, they said something like the Jenner that has 1 energy, large laser. It's going to have like 99% cooldown. So anyways, we'll have to sort of see, or duration or cooldown, one of the two, but we'll have to sort of pay attention to that. MWO Comp Championship Series 2023 is under swing again. 18,000 in prize pool money, which means it's raised over double that. And again, you can go check out all those things. It is really, really fun to watch. If you've never watched the Comp Series, definitely check those out. They do broadcast them live on Twitch, and of course they do broadcast them on their website as well, and there's probably a schedule, so make sure to go check out that. All right, so let's go talk about the new legendary battle mechs. This has been a new thing of late with MWO, and the first thing you're gonna notice is a new Atlas. This is definitely an interesting one aesthetically, but also new hardpoint on here, and we'll go jump into that. This is the Warlord, and of course we also have the Urban Mech 2C. There's 2 of them, the Hashk and the Baden. So the Warlord is what you see down below. And of course, this is 30% C-Build boost, Mech XP, and all that fun stuff. So some things to note here. We're just going to go ahead and click on the image here. And you can see aesthetically what this looks like. This is with the bolt-ons. You can see on the arms, the shoulders, and of course the headdress. And, to be honest, it reminds me of like feudal Japan, if you will, the ornamental sort of samurai outfit. I don't know if that's meant to be or if it's, but then it's got other aspects where it doesn't, sort of like Conan the Barbarian Warlord, maybe. I don't know. Either or, very unique. The first thing you're going to notice is two ballistic, one on the left, right torso. You've got energy in the arms, energy in the CT, and then also something very, very unique. It is energy in the eye location, the cockpit location. We're going to go ahead and dive into just that. Let's go ahead and check out the hard points here in detail. The one thing you're going to notice is we also have a missile hard point. So as you can see, we've got 6 energy hard points with 2 ballistic and 1 missile, dual LB-20s in the torso, and then the rest here. This doesn't have jump jets. Neither does it have ECM. And this will be the first ballistic torsoed Atlas on the left side, at least. So it's adding something new. So that's something that this Atlas is going to be able to do. Let's go and take a quick look at the quirks here and details. Chassis C-Build bonus, firepower -10 on heat. And that's got a bunch of armor, crit receiving, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Doesn't have anything outside of that that's unique. I need to check the Excel, DXL versus the other Atlases and stuff like that. But in general, you can see the main difference here is the hard points. So we now have a ballistic left torso Atlas with a missile and then the 6 energy as well. So, dual heavy Gauss, dual LB. Sorry about this. And again, dual heavy Gauss, dual LB-20s, dual AC-20s. You're now going to be able to do that on the Atlas with supplemental energy, which is actually quite nice. If you're running dual AC-20s, you can fit an LFE in here as well, make you go a little bit faster. You will be pressed for location 4 ammo, though, because if you do an LFE and you do energy in the CT and head cockpit, and again, just to point this out, this is the first mech to do a small cockpit, which frees up a critical slot, and they added a hard point. So basically you have 2 energy in the head, and that's what that aesthetic on the left or right eye, I should say, is cockpit. So this is going to be a first one. I actually really dig it. I think it's really smart. I didn't know they were able to do something like this. So for, pulling out all stops, PGI has picked a pretty cool one. I think I dig it aesthetically. I could definitely see it in some like black or grays and reds and stuff like that. You can also do a snub in the eye, so just consider that. Maybe 2 snubs, 4 snubs altogether, or something like that as well. So we're going to see some combos. All right, moving on to the Urban Mech 2Cs. Of course, you fanatics out there have been wanting this dang thing forever. Now, not only do you get 1, you get 2, because why not? You've got the Haisk. I don't know how you pronounce this, but it's an Urban Mech with Clan Tech. So I hope you're happy, and let's go just dive into it. The first one we have here is the Haisk. I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's got 3 energy in the left arm and then 3 ballistic in the right torso. If we scroll down here, you can see that it has UAC jam chance and duration, ballistic velocity, and cooldown quirks, obviously, and extra ammo as well. The typical armor, because, why not? Heat dissipation. So basically, this is geared towards UAC 20s, 10s, 5s, 2s, and there you have it. The second one is different in the fact of it's got 4 energy hard points, 2 in the left arm, 1 in the left torso, and 1 in the CT. I actually really dig the camo pattern here, me personally. And this one has actually heavy assault Gauss, Hag, or Gauss quirks, velocity, cooldown, 20%. And then you also get extra ammo for Gauss or Hag. So that's actually pretty dope. So you can throw a 20 or maybe even a Hag 30 on there with some backup, and you get some extra ammo. Because again, that's probably going to be the biggest thing for a 30 tonner is just the ultimate weight of the weapon. Yeah, so off the two of them, I actually really dig the camo here. On the first one, again, I don't know how you pronounce this. You definitely have the clan star. Looks like some extra stuff, some howling here. Anyways, so Urban Mech 2Cs, you guys have been wanting them. Now you get them because we only need more Urbies in the game. Why not? Thank you, Darren and Matt. That's all we needed was more 30-ton assault mechs now equipped with clan equipment. Thanks, guys. The game is better because of it. All right, let's talk about weapon adjustments. This is actually a big one. Out of the 3 weapon systems that were introduced, the hags, basically blazers, if you will, the cannons, if you know. Anyways, and the X-Pulse. The X-Pulse actually fell a little bit short, and it looks like what they're trying to do is increase range here, increase max range as well, and then increase the damage, and it increases the heat. So they're trying to make them where the negative here is still that they're hot, but they get a little bit more bonuses here. You can see that across the board, they all received buffs here. The only nerf would be the heat. I'm actually okay with that. They were already hot per se, but with also the lack of ability to alpha so many of them, again, it has the same rules apply to the ghost heat. It just required a lot of face time for what you got out of them. So on paper, it was weird because X-Pulse on paper were supposed to be out damaging pulse lasers, but they just weren't. And the amount of face time that it would require you to put amount of damage on just is way too much, and you're just left in a bad spot. So this will be, I'm assuming, the first of probably a few different buffs. I will be testing these out. My prediction is they'll eventually find a place. It is one of those weird weapon systems where it's like an in-between. That's what they're sort of trying to do here. They're trying to provide them with a spot that standard lasers and then medium don't really, it's that in between. Binary laser cannons, as I said, blazers here, reduce cooldown from 3.6 to 3.5. So that's a slight buff. Increased laser duration, that's a nerf. And again, that's and then reduced minimum heat threshold to 3 from 4. That's right. Firing 3 binary cannons applies heat penalty. This is how it's supposed to be from the start. Now, what's interesting here is I think what it showed us is that there are some mechs that I think would benefit from a +1 binary. For instance, I was rolling the Centurion 9AL. I don't think it breaks anything having the 3 build on it, but that being said, I do think that across the board, a lot of damage was going down range. It'll be interesting seeing it with some of these hag changes. And speaking of hag changes, we have some here. I know the community was sort of split. Some people were saying that they're fine. Some people were saying they're OP. I felt like they were definitely strong. You didn't really see regular Goss being used as much anymore. Obviously, people are trying them out, but so we have some changes. Increased burst duration from, again, this is a nerf, if you will. Basically, burst duration. It means it increases the time rounds are coming out. So that's a nerf to the 20s. Increased burst duration on the 30s as well. Reduced spread. This is a very negligible spread and increased heat, and it's a little bit of a heat increase. So let's see. This is a nerf. This is a buff, and this is a nerf. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I think if you're moving, pinpoint issue isn't as much of an issue. So again, if you're trading, with a hag 40 or 30 at range, if you're moving, it is harder to land every single round, albeit 900 plus meters optimal. So. What are my thoughts here on the hag changes? I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I didn't think they were OP per se because of the amount of face time that it would require to deliver. That being said, the long range play is definitely a thing. I felt like we were already having some blue laser, trading and stuff, and then hags come around. It'll be interesting sort of seeing the changes here. Again, duration here. That's a pretty substantial face duration, you know, as far as rounds per Gauss rifle there, and then reduce spread. So they are cleaning up the pinpoint nature a little bit on this, not by much. I mean, it's 0.03. If I'm honest here, you as a player, me as a player, are probably not going to notice this. If you say you're going to notice it, I think it's going to be definitely a placebo there, because that's such a minute change, 0.03. You're probably not going to see it, but I'm glad they're being looked at. I think that if anything out of these, the X pulse and then this the heat penalty to blazers are probably going to be the big things to watch out for. Okay, UX changes UX, decreased jam duration, and again, this is pretty much across the board on UX. I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this may help with, again, most of the time when you're running UX, you're running boats anyways. So if one or two jam, you still have others to work on here. But no one likes jam duration, RNG mechanics like that. No one likes them. So duration in that regard, I think that's an okay thing. Mech adjustments, Black Knight primary and secondary injury hardpoints on left or right torsos are now placed on higher locations on the mech. Let me go ahead and show this, because I feel this is better if we look in game. Okay, let's jump into the Black Knight changes. Now, I'm going to have to point out something that's sort of hard to see here. But if you notice here, the old Black Knight, all the hard points, you see these right here that are now up, almost like chest level almost. These were all down here on the bottom. So this is the big change. This one, it moved, actually, I don't think it moved at all. But these right here used to be actually down here. Okay, so this was actually done by Navid. Navid made the changes. We were talking, I don't know who specifically mentioned this, but okay, so why specifically did the Black Knight get the changes? There's a few reasons for it. The Black Knight's weapon geo isn't part of the mech model, as you can see, so they moved these up. These bits are still here though, of course, but whereas, like, if you look at the cataphract, the issue with the cataphract, if you were to move this entire thing moves. Like, you can't, like, this is the entire weapon model. This is the old way they used to do the mechs. Whereas on the new Black Knight, they're able to move the individual weapon. So what they did is they moved those up. What does that do? That helps you with being able to engage and shoot at targets without hitting basically things in front of you that maybe you should be shooting over. So anyways, so that's a big change to the mech, and I think an overall improvement to the firepower. One of the problems with a lot of mechs is being able to present that firepower to your enemy, fire not hitting stuff that's in front of you. And the big thing of why you say, well, why does that happen, is really where the cockpit and the player is in correlation to the weapons themselves. That's why generally some of the most effective mechs out there have either a even, death strike. It's all the weapons are equal with the cockpit, so forth and so on, where you don't have to worry about what you see when you pull the trigger, that it's going to be hitting a building or a piece of terrain, or a friendly in that matter. So Black Knight changes just happened. Navid, good job. I do still think there's a few other mechs that could use this training or use this adjustment, stuff like the Grasshopper. There's a few hard points that are low just for the sake of being low from an old designer, and I think those could probably be improved. But overall, this is a wanted and happy change. All right, so we got some nerfs and buffs to Mechworks. Let me go and talk about the Viper, and this is the legendary scale shot. I've played this mech. I do think it is extremely good. It's also extremely squishy. So let's talk about what happened here. The scale shot was the first Omni mech to get set of 8, 6, and 4 quirks. That means all you have to do is get the set of four Omnipods, and you get a bonus here. What they basically did is they removed the 4s and they added them back to the 6s. So you have to take all those Omnipods to get those bonuses. They also have 70% energy cooldown on the set of 8s. Again, that's only 1 energy. So what can you do with that? Is this mech OP? Is this mech pay to win? Is this mech over the top? I would say in the right hands and the right player's hands, right circumstances, this mech right here can literally change the match, especially if there's two of them working together. I think it is very strong. I think it is very squishy, but one of its strengths is speed and maneuverability. Its jump capability, its ability to basically alpha either kill you in one shot, if not two, before you know it. So you have to keep your head on a swivel. Do I think it's OP? No, but I think it is very, very good. So I'll keep an eye on this. I'll play it a little bit more with the changes. Obviously, they're out there in numbers. I think why a lot of players, and maybe I don't play comp, but I can see why it's one of those mechs where you can do clutch behaviors and clutch plays with it because of the convergence of the missiles, because of the speed of the mech and the maneuverability. But it reminds me of a little bit of like a piranha in the fact of it is very deadly, but it's very squishy. And if you know what you're doing, you can sort of counter. So just going to leave that there. I don't necessarily think it's OP, but it is very strong. So there's that. Ice Ferret changes came in here. Bushwhacker, all variants. This is actually this is one of those things where I'm actually happy the Bushwhacker is getting a little bit of love here. They're cleaning up some old quirks and consolidating stuff, and you're seeing a lot of this, and it goes twofold. I used to do the quirks way back in the day, and it was very interesting, and I've sort of talked about this on stream. At the time, you had a lot of people that didn't have like weapon specific quirks because it said, it shoehorns you into only using that mech that specific way. And then you had some people that are like, it should be generic and, across the board, but then there's no flavor towards it. I think the changes that I'm seeing are good. I like the changes. Some are generic. Some are weapon specific. Some do point you towards a certain route. Again, laser duration -50 from 5. I mean, some of these will sort of direct, but what I do think they do quite well is they allow a lot of freedom, especially on the IS side, to be able to experiment. So a lot of Bushwhacker changes there. Dragon got an update. The Dragon 1C, Catapult C1, Grasshopper, speaking of. Orion. The Orion is one of the mechs that I think is it suffers from Atlas syndrome. It's just 75 tons, and so it's there. A lot of consolidation across the board, the M, the K, the V, the VA. Again, it's got some pretty crazy quirks already applied, but it's sort of like the Cataphract, a lot of low hard points. I don't think there's anything that Navid or the Cauldron can do about those because I think they're baked in. So at that point in time, I think you're really left with basically with what you have is buffing what's there and doing the best you can. So there's that. Executioner getting some changes here. Set of 8s being readjusted. So instead of ballistic energy, why not just have 20% cooldown? So it looks like they're doing that. And again, these are set of 8s. So it would be interesting seeing if PGI Cauldron is going to expand the set of 6s and 4s to other mechs as well. I think that would be a really, really cool thing. I would hope that wouldn't just be a legendary thing like the scale shot. I really think that needs to spread out to the rest of the Omnis. Maybe not all of them. I don't think all of them need it. Some Omnis are really strong, obviously. But what you can do is you can incentivize certain combos and stuff, and allows people to come up with their own combos. So I think that's a really cool thing here. Annie, Direwolf, Kodiak. Again, there's some small stuff here. Let's talk about some miscellaneous adjustments here. Faction play domination timer changed to 3 minutes from 1 minute and 30 minutes. That's actually double the time. I think a lot of people have been asking for that. Base destruction time changed 30 seconds from 15 seconds. Emerald Taiga has the following updates. New building placed in the north generator area. Cover added for middle generator. And again, I do not play faction play, but there are people that do, and it looks like you guys are getting a little bit of love. So there you guys go. Make sure to go get feedback on the forums or directly to, the map designer or Darren or stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's probably well needed, especially on domination. And that's mainly due to, like event queue as well. Some stuff that's been witnessed, I think. So trial mechs, new trial mechs have new skill tree baked into the quirks. not available for purchase. This is huge, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look here at the trial mechs and why this is so important. They finally have done it. And we're going to go to all here just really quick. Wow, that is so cool. Dang, man. We've been wanting this forever. This is such a good thing for new players coming in here. You are no longer gimped by this. This is huge, guys. PGI, Cauldron, Navid, who I think it was Navid that was, I think we were talking about this on stream. This is awesome. Yeah, good job on this. This is what the game needed. I can't stress. I like the paint schemes too, by the way. You're not just these green. It's simple. It's crazy. This is awesome, guys. So this means the Mark II has dual LB20s and SRMs, and actually has the correct skills now. This is fantastic here. So kudos where it's due. This is nice. This is trial mechs have been, I would say, a hindrance to the new player experience. Oh wow, the 7S. This is nasty, by the way. This is like an LRM boat, close range support. If you look at the velocity here, what is it? Is it the missile velocity? Yeah, 55%. That's dope. I love that. Okay, so obviously it's got the mech quirks, but also the skills. How did they do this? They're basically like new mechs. If you notice here, it actually says T instead of the champion. This is technically a new mech that you can't purchase. And it's basically allows you to quirk out. It's a workaround, and I like it. Thank you. It's been fantastic. That's great. So for those that didn't know, trial mechs now actually are, I would, yeah, that's good. Very, very good. Awesome. Approved. All right, let's talk about champions. Champions now have 15% XP and 15% C-build bonus. Wow, man, that's a huge thing. I remember saying that years and years ago. Wow. Old dogs can learn new tricks. Maps. As a result of the feedback from the map polls, the following changes have been made. Hellebore Springs and Alpine Pink's rotation weights have been reduced. Interesting. Actually, I like Hellebore Springs. Here's my issue with this. Just remove Alpine Peaks. It's like, it was really, really low. Just remove it. Why won't you remove it? Just remove it. It's not a good design map. Oh, man. Viridian, Terra, and Hibernal rotation weights have been increased. Frozen City Classic Day has been removed. Frozen City Classic Night rotation weight has been increased. Forest Colony Classic Snow have been temporarily removed. See user CFG. This is actually, I just watched a video on this. GRAM, quick shout out to you, showing what the user CFGs are capable of. And yeah, so I'm glad those have been removed. Game modes, as a result of the feedback, Incursion has been removed. Thank you. Yes, finally. All right. Targeting computers will now affect X-Pulse, binary cannons, and HAGs as well. What does this mean here? User.cfg. All right, GRAM's done a video where he basically showcases that on certain maps, Forest Colony, Viridian Bog, that with a few edits, it can remove basically all the small vegetation where they're like down where the bog area is completely visible. You can see everything. Obviously, this has been brought up to Piranha Games. They're aware of it. The changes made in the users do not impact gameplay for the maps used in MW Comp Championship Series, so that's not an issue. There are, that being said, in public quick play, looks like Viridian Bog, that'll be addressed. I don't know what exactly or how or what or why, but yes, it is definitely a thing. It'll be interesting seeing what happens there. There are some good things out of that video, by the way, by GRAM, and that's not him trying to show exploitations. He's actually talking to someone about some of the user CFG to help improve performance, help improve LODs so they don't pop in, pop out. I'm actually going to be testing some of those because that's one of my biggest gripes with like Citadel. the Citadel on River City is the LODs pop in and out, even at like 200-300 meters when they shouldn't. I would rather them just be 100% loaded in at like 1,500 to 1,000. I don't need to see them changing. It's really, really nasty too. So anyways, it's a big patch, guys. We've got a lot to dive in and check out. Obviously, 3 new legendary mechs. We also have, again, the annual rewards program. There's a bunch of new variants coming to the game, including Ice Ferret. There's a new Jaeger. The Jaeger was confirmed to have dual hags or dual heavy Goss in the arms. Those were things, and obviously we've got clans announcement as well. So lots to dive in. If you haven't been in the game and you want to dive in, it's definitely a good time doing so. I think we've been having some good matches. We've had some really good matches recently. But anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review and my thoughts on this. If you guys want to join us over on a Twitch stream, that's twitch.tv/NGNGTV. I'll have a link down in the description down below. Join us on Discord as well. By the way, if you do join Discord, you assign your own roles when you log in. I'm not your mom. I'm not. Be an adult, read the rules. It's super easy. You assign your own roles. Yeah, if you guys want to help support, click the like button. You found this video informative. And again, let me know, are you excited about the RB2Cs in the comments? Do you like the new Warlord Atlas? What do you guys think about the new bolt-ons? Again, I think they've been an improvement, except the War Emu, that was lackluster. I'm sorry. It's just, that thing would look so ugly. It's like Mad Max. It's not even Mad Max. It just doesn't look good. I think all the other ones have been good. But yeah, this has been your September 2023 patch review. I'm going to be diving into the game and checking all these out. And again, if you guys want to help support what I do here, you like everything, again, popping over on the stream, that's a great way. Consider becoming a patron. I'll have a link for all this stuff down below. Again, I do need your help and support, so make sure to check all those things out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time.